In our previous video, we added FakeItEasy to our project so we could fake out a dependency of our viewModels constructor. Now we're going to go to the next step and use FakeItEasy to test the behavior of our viewModel and how it interacts with other classes. Specifically, in this particular instance, how our user authentication viewModel class interacts with iUserService. And this kind of test is actually not a unit test, but instead an integration test, because you are testing how two classes integrate with each other. So without any more exposition, how about we dive into the code? So I'm going to create a new test method, and I'm going to say public void test VM calls authenticate on user service. And one of the things I sometimes do is add underscores to kind of help break up exactly what we are expecting with this particular test. So here, this is a bit more readable. Test VM calls authenticate on user service. So one of the things we'll want to do is create a reference to our fake service. So I'm going to call this fake user service, and I'm going to make this a field, and you'll see why here in a second. And now let's actually start writing our test. So I'm going to say viewModel ut dot email address equals bin at render.io, and next we're going to say viewModel ut dot password equals let me in. Okay. And then we're going to call viewModel ut dot authenticate command execute. And we're just going to run this test for a second and make sure we don't have any compile errors, which we do because no I command takes 0 parameters. And again, I'm going to try running, and now we have a failing test. And that is because in our authenticate command, we are throwing a not implemented exception. So this is a good thing. So let's make this go away. So I'm going to delete that. And now when we run our tests, everything passes. But we need to actually make sure our viewModel via our command is actually interacting with our service correctly. So right off the bat, one of the things we can say is a call to, and then when I use a lambda expression, view fake user service dot authenticate, and then we're going to say a string, and for now we're just going to say ignored, so it'll be basically any string. Must have happened. And now when we run this, our test should fail. And it does. So let's go into our authenticate command, and let's call user service authenticate, and I'm just going to put in 2 empty strings. And now if we go back to our test and run it, it passes. But we want to make sure our viewModel and our command are calling the user service with the appropriate parameters. So we're going to say viewModel ut dot email address, viewModel ut dot password, and we want to make sure that we're passing appropriate parameters. So now when I run our test, it will fail. But again, if I go into my authenticate command and I say if I say vm dot email address, and then say vm dot password, and I go back and run, it passes. So this is how we can very easily use FakeItEasy to make sure our classes are playing nicely with other classes. And one of the reasons I like FakeItEasy is that it has a very nice fluent syntax where I can say a call to fake user service authenticate with viewModel email address, viewModel password must have happened. And as I've discussed before, being able to read unit tests easily is a key component to making sure your tests don't get thrown away later down the road.